Okay, today we're going to be talking about OCD. A lot of people say that they have OCD, but do they really have OCD? So, we're going to be looking at the key symptoms for OCD or obsessive compulsive disorder. So, for someone to have obsessive compulsive disorder, they will have, first of all, we're going to start with obsessions, and this can be found in DSM-5 TR. So this is where this information is coming from. So for the obsessions, one would have to have intrusive thoughts. Okay, so these are persistent or unwanted and distressing thoughts. Someone could be having images or urges. So for example, you have someone that is constantly worrying about whether they left the stove on, even though they know that they turned it off. This persistent fear of causing a fire consumes them or their thoughts and makes it very difficult for them to focus on anything else. So for the fear of contamination, so individuals with OCD have excessive concerns about germs, dirt, or anything that could contaminate their space. So you have people that don't want to greet other people because they think that they have germs. We're not talking about COVID time, but we're talking about these are the regular times when there are no diseases that people are afraid of being in open spaces. So someone that has this symptom will avoid touching doorknobs, refuse to shake hands with other people because they think that they are carrying germs. So that would cause someone to be isolated or avoid, public spaces. So the other symptom is symmetry and orderliness. This is going to involve a need for things to be aligned in a specific way, or just to have things like they're symmetrical or perfect, like if it's your wardrobe or your kitchen cabinet, you want the glasses to face a certain way. And we are talking about people that are really, really unable to function if these things don't happen the same way. I'm not talking about someone like my husband who has his underwears, the same color put in a certain corner, or he can only use a certain color of hangers. So picture someone that is spending hours arranging items on their desk until every pen is perfectly aligned or every book is arranged by size. So spending a lot of time again, that is going to interrupt your other daily skills or other daily activities. So the other one is forbidden or taboo thoughts. So these would be fears of harming oneself or others. So, and you have these thoughts about you're worrying about committing a sin if you're a Christian, or even just worrying about doing stuff, like that would be even disturbing sexual thought that would, interfere with your daily life. So if you have someone that experiences intrusive thoughts about harming a loved one, or engaging in socially unacceptable behavior, that would be, be considered a taboo, that could be, those thoughts are causing them extreme distress and guilt. So that would be considered past in their symptom. So the other symptom is doubting. This is the last one for the obsessions. So someone is constantly questioning or doubting their actions or decisions. Which is, is very common obsession in OCD. Just doubting. You are repeatedly doubting whether you locked the door, turned off the oven, even after checking multiple times. You wake up out of bed and you can't sleep. You think that you left your car running. You go to the garage. Leading to persistent anxiety and uncertainty that definitely doesn't allow you to sleep, and that is interfering with your function. So when we are talking about compulsions on the other side of the board, so we have compulsions. So compulsions are going to include cleaning and washing. Okay, So excessive hand washing or cleaning rituals that are common compulsions in response to contamination fears. So again, they're aligned with your fear of contamination. Someone may feel compelled to wash their hands until they are raw, or spend a lot of hours, at the sink, using a lot of soap, cleaning their home, tables, counters in the kitchen to get rid of perceived germs. They are not germs, but you're not talking about the COVID when we had to wash our hands every minute because we were worried about the virus. But we're talking about this is somebody that is doing this in their own home. There's no COVID, and so there's nothing to worry about, but they perceive that everything has germs that they have to keep cleaning. And also the other one is for compulsion is checking. So individuals that have OCD will repeatedly check their locks again, their appliances in the kitchen, or just their car, other items to ensure that safety or prevent harm from themselves. So someone might check and recheck the stove. Did they turn off the gas? Did they turn off the heat, even though they know that they turned them off? So they do that really to ease the anxiety because they have anxious. They have anxiety. They might be a potential fire, so they will keep waking up out of bed or wherever they are to go keep checking. So the other one is counting. So engaging in counting rituals or repeating certain words or phrases specific number of times is a common compulsion. So maybe somebody that runs a shop and they have amount of money and they have to keep counting it just to make sure. That could be compulsion counting. Someone feeling the need to count every step they take or repeat a phrase a certain number of times to prevent something bad from happening. And the other symptom is ordering and arranging. So this involves needing objects to be arranged in a particular order or pattern. So they're just like the obsession of symmetry and orderliness. So this person or the patient, some may feel compelled to arrange their closet by color, line up objects on their desk perfectly, becoming distressed if anything is out of place. And you might have a parent who's like that, or a child that is like that. So if it's someone that maybe has a house help or somebody who comes and clean their office, they will never find it orderly, or they'll think that it's in a mess if things are not put the right way, or they're not aligned the way they wanted in color and stuff like that, shapes. So the other one is hoarding, and we also have in DSM-5 we also have hoarding as a disorder. So even for people who have OCD, they might have difficulty discarding items. They have this excessive accumulation of possessions. Like you have clothes that don't fit you, you have shoes that don't fit you. Your house is quite like in a mess. Nobody can even get access to you because you have held onto these things that really don't have a lot of value, but you kept keeping them. So imagine someone that is unable to throw away all newspapers or empty containers. We have people that do that for reasons because they're going to use them for maybe storing food items or spices. But this one is just, the patient is really just cluttering their house and they have difficulty moving around. If they have children, they might be hurt because their bottles are everywhere or containers everywhere. So these are just examples that really illustrate how obsessions and compulsions manifest when someone or a patient has OCD or is living with obsessive compulsive disorder. And of course, anything that impacts, if the disorder is affecting their life, their function, and how they relate with other people, people are unable to go to work on time because they have to constantly keep checking the house, whether they lock the house, whether the stove is on, they drive a mile and they have to go back to the house. So that we're talking about, somebody that could be having obsessive disorder. obsessive compulsive disorder, which is called OCD. So I know that almost everyone has a little bit of OCD. I know my OCD, but it's not really a diagnosis. It's not something that I would have to, go for therapy for or take medication for. So when it is very excessive and persistent and it's interfering with my life, I really would want to consider that a disorder. So thank you very much. I hope that you got what OCD is. If you like my video, please give me a thumbs up. You can share with someone that is also learning these disorders, or you can give me a comment. Thank you very much. You could also subscribe to my channel. If you're going to do this for exam, like some of us have to do exams once in a while, whether it is our CEs or we have to do an exam, maybe we are in school, in medical school, I wish you all good luck. Thank you very much.